What's up, guys? Ron Harris here. We're talking about arms. Yes, it's that slow time in bodybuilding where we can talk about stuff like this. Who's got the best arms in bodybuilding right now? Of course, I only put 3 names on the list, and you guys are welcome in the chat. And if you're watching this later, drop it in the comments. Who do you believe should be number one? Who is not even on my top 3? My top 3, Nick Walker, Andrew Jacked, and Krizo. I want to start taking a look. At these guys. So, first of all, Nick Walker, I think, has got to be in this conversation for sure. I know this is 2022. His arms are probably a little bigger than this, but look at when he first steps out there, hits that frontal bicep. Boom. Amazing. That's just perfect arm development. Peaked full biceps, sweeping triceps. I've never heard anyone remotely accuse Nick Walker of having oil in his arms or any kind of site injection, period. He's always had these fantastic arms from the time he turned pro back in 2020. And look at that. Again, this is 2022. Hits a lot of arm shots. And if I had arms like that, man, so would I. I would too. Look at that. They are fantastic. You look at him in the 25 Olympia. This is obviously much more current. Still has tremendous arm development, of course. Where are they going to go down in size? They look fantastic. I'm curious to see how the poll goes. Right now, he's leading in the poll. You can vote on this poll while the video is running right now. Who do we got? We got Nick. Oh, no, Krizo's in the lead. Krizo's in the lead with 50%. Go Krizo. Okay. Yeah. So that's Nick there. Let me show you on his Instagram. He's got so much good stuff on his Instagram when it comes to arms. Just hang on a second. Let me get rid of that. All right. If we go to Nick's Instagram, which I'm about to do right now, he posts a lot of arm training because, good Lord, look at these things. Here he is doing some curls. I mean, these are the arms. If I could probably have anybody's arms in bodybuilding, I would want Nick Walker's because, yeah, those look completely real to me. If he has ever injected any foreign substances, let's say, in his arms, he's done it in such a way that you would never notice. But I don't think he has. I think he's just got fantastic arm genetics. They respond very, very well to pretty much anything he does for them. And look at that. They are just phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's a close-up shot. Take a look at when he does the double arm curls. I think it's even more impressive because that's showing more of the physique. Well, that's a side, even the side. All his poses, the arms are a strong point. They're just so full and thick, so incredibly full and thick. And, you know, even though I didn't love his look at this last Olympia, those arms are still looking insane in memory. Here we go. So these are the shots right here. Look at that. That is just, that's crazy. Crazy arm development on this guy. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments so far. Evening, Asimov. For me, the open for purely talking about the arms, nothing else got to be Nick. Yeah, we're just talking about arms. We're not talking about anything else. Yeah, Ramon Dino's got pretty awesome. Andrey Smaev by far. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at him for sure. That should be number 1, isn't even on the list. So you're talking about Smaev, yeah. Smaev, who has never competed in bodybuilding. But you could make that case. We'll look at him. Krizo and Nick, best arms in Doug Game, hands down. Yeah, I mean, I tend to think so. If he ever gets on stage, we talk about more. Yeah, Smaev, I hear what you're saying on him, but again, Krizo, yeah, Krizo. What about Akeem? Akeem's got pretty good arms. Absolutely does. Yeah, I mean, that's why I have you guys on here is because I know I didn't think of everybody. Plus, on the thumbnails, I only have room for a couple guys, so you understand. But Nick's arms, to me, those are the best arms right now. From every angle, they just look incredible. So full, so round, so thick. And I do believe they're 100% real. I don't think there's anything funny going on with these arms. If I did, I wouldn't have them in the, I wouldn't even be talking about them because, yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is insane. Well, let's take a look at Krizo. We'll get to Jack last. So Krizo, also phenomenal arm development. And also another guy, I don't think there's anything funny about his arms. I don't think there's any SEO in there. His whole physique is so detailed. There's so much separation, detail, striations. He's one guy I don't think has messed with any kind of PMAA or Synthol or anything like that. Could I be wrong? Of course. That's why they call me Wrong Harris. But I think his arms are, I don't want to say 100% natural because, yeah, of course he uses gear and GH and things like that. But as far as what we're looking at, is it all muscle? I believe it is. I believe it is with Krizo. Krizo. Yeah, that's just a real clean shot. Those arms are, double bicep is to me his best shot, along with the most muscular that he does. He doesn't have any bad shots. See, the back shots aren't great. But look at that. Look at just how full and dense those arms are. Krizo is just, he's an arm god among men. Yeah, he posts a lot of arm training as well. And like I said, man, if I had arms like that, I'd be posting arm training stuff every day, every damn day. Here he is posing. You know, you can't hide bad arms, so it's a good thing. I mean, that's one reason I had trouble competing is because my triceps in particular were lackluster. But Krizo's arms look good in every single pose. The most muscular, yeah. Look at that. He's something else, Krizo. Yeah, that guy's a fan. So although I do have Nick as number 1 in arm development, Krizo to me is very, very close. Oh, that's a back exercise. Even when he's training back, his arms look crazy, don't they? He's going to do a little posing here. It's a very brightly lit gym. You know, to his credit, he's got the chest and the shoulders to match. A lot of these guys have huge arms and the crappy chests or shoulders aren't that great. He's got everything, Krizo. But look at how full and veiny. And again, I guess if I could pick anyone's arms, it would be either Nick or Krizo. I'd be happy with either one. I'm not greedy. I'll take either one. Some more posing. Oh, that's a side tech. That's a sponsor. Yeah, this is a series of his crab most musculars. Last one is very, very manipulated, very structured, sharpened. Look at that. That is fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see. Krizo, Nick, best arms. Go to Akeem. Shape-wise, oh yeah, Wesley's got really good arms. Absolutely. I don't know. Wesley's arms are pretty huge, actually, because he's 6'2" or 6'3". I think he's 6'3". His arms are probably 22 inches. Ajax stripe. You'll see when I make him the poster boy of oil. Yeah, we're going to get to him next. Imagine if Krizo has a little smaller waist. Yeah, it's just that waist, the wide waist that kills him. Really, it's the only thing because, good Lord, this guy's phenomenal. Look at that. Yeah. Even when he's doing a leg shot, you can't stop looking at the arms. You can't. You could pose better. Yeah, I mean, that's something that could be improved. So-called Kurt Mistro is not even the convo. No, I didn't have Hadi in there either. And I didn't have Martin in there. I don't think Martin's arms are awesome. Hadi's arms, they're good. They're not like awesome. His arms are a joke. Yeah, we're not talking about the worst arms. No one has 26-inch real. We're gonna get to Smaev after let's look at our boy here though. So Andrew jacked. I remember the first time I saw Andrew was on I think it was a Larry Wheels video. So we're talking about 2021, 2020, maybe even as far back as that. And I was just thinking, man, this guy's arms are ridiculous. This guy's got the best arms, better arms than 99% of IFBB pros, and he's never even competed. So there you go. Look at that. He's balancing. So that's his tricep training. Triceps are just so full, so round. They stick out like 6 inches behind him when he's walking. Here's some skull crushers. They're looking phenomenal. That's good arm. Different Mr. O'Caliber. We're talking about Smaev now. Since 2 taller, his waist might even out. No, I don't. It would still be the same shape. You're talking about Krizo there. Andrew has high insertions. Could be awesome to have you induct Tigor with the IGF-1. I don't know how much he knows about that, to be honest with you. IGF-1 LR3. Yeah, we're looking at Andrew now. There's the triceps. Let's go to the biceps. This bicep training here. This is a little more off-season-ish, but you can still see the finish. Look at that. This is about as fat as Andrew ever gets right there, which isn't very fat at all. He looks pretty damn great. Yeah. I'll go show you that one. I go back to this one picture of Andrew all the time. And to me, this is the best picture of him right here. That is my favorite picture of Andrew ever. Or I should say so far. Perfect peak biceps. Triceps are nice and full and sweeping. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Let's see. You think so oil doesn't stand there, everyone's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, Phil had big arms even when he was a basketball player. Triceps are huge. Andrew's a very good, but his inserts are pretty high. Nick's just look fuller. Yeah, I mean, Nick's 5'6". He says 5'7". I want to say, I'll give him 5'7" if he really wants to say that, but I think he's closer to 5'6". So his arms are probably as big as Andrew's, but he's 7 or 8 inches shorter. Delta Unreal 2. Andrey Smaev with the best arms. The best arms in classic. Yeah, probably Ramon Dino. But I'll take a look at Smaev. Let's take a look at Smaev. So next we're going to Andrey Smaev, who is a young man from Russia. Is it Smaev official? Smaev. Yeah. Okay. So I think he was saying his arms are like 25 or 26 inches, which, I believe it. He's, 330 pounds or something like that? It's a huge, huge guy. That's scary. It's about 150-pound dumbbell there. He's doing a partial rep with a preacher curl. Still scares me, but he's strong enough that I think he can pull it off without tearing anything. So he's a 27-year-old guy. He is posing down with a normal-sized bodybuilder. And yeah, you can see those. You can see that's the size of this dude's arms. It's crazy. He's a big, big kid. And I say kid because he's only like 27, 26 or 27. He looks a lot older, I know. It's mainly because he's lost his hair. I think hair makes people look, losing your hair, I should say, makes people look older. But he's not an old guy. He's still in his 20s, Andrey. He's not even close to 30 yet. But yeah, these are the pictures that went kind of viral a couple months ago. Look at how thick and full, everything, not just the arms, the shoulders, the chest, but arms in particular on this guy are so big and meaty. It's impressive. It's very impressive. Nick, is that short? Yeah, I mean, I used to be 5'8". I'm down to 5'7.5". And every time I've interviewed Nick, he's a little shorter than me. I'm looking at him eye to eye. Now, granted, he's usually barefoot, but still, he's definitely no more than 5'7". He's 5'7" on a very good day. Smaev bulking to 350 right now. Well, I mean, how tall do you think Derek and Hadi are? Derek and Hadi are both around, I think Hadi's about 5'5". Derek, too. I think they're right around 5'5". He's almost 346 right now. I wonder how many calories he's eating. A lot. Freak. I think now that Urz's open, he will be putting more size on arms. He needs triceps. His biceps, Urz's biceps are very good. It's his triceps that aren't in proportion yet. Here's the final cap, the final boss, as they say. Piano would love this dude 5%. Well, he would have liked this guy 5% if he put a bunch of crap in his arms and got a bunch of tattoos. Because it seems like that's pretty much who he had in most of his team for 5%. See if there's another shot with this guy's arms. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Smaev. Yeah, in terms of measuring tape, so if he's almost 350 pounds, I bet those arms are every bit of 25, 26 inches. They're enormous. Look at that. But he doesn't compete. So is he really in this conversation? No, probably not. You guys did mention Akeem, and I think it's fair to bring Akeem on here because Akeem Williams, the beast. He hasn't been doing as well lately in competition, but he still has some of the best arms in the sport. Look at that try in the side try. Crazy triceps. Back is not a great point. Strong point for him. There we go. There's that front double. So Akeem has those super peaked biceps. You can see the striations, the cuts in those biceps. So they're very detailed. Another guy I don't think has any site injections going on at all. I think those arms are 100% real muscle. Yes, built with gear and insulin and GH and all that like everyone else. But I don't believe there's any weird plastics or oils in those arms. I think Akeem's arms are real, let's say. They're real muscle built with chemical enhancement, of course, like everyone else. But Akeem, definitely. For classic, yeah, I think Ramon Dino, very good case you can make for Ramon Dino. Best arms in classic. He is our classic physique Olympia champion right now for a reason. Even just hanging out there with his coach, Fabrizio. But yeah, it's very hard for someone to hit a pose with the arms outstretched and they still look good. If you don't have big arms, stretching your arms out and especially putting them overhead is very, very risky. But Ramon's not. He's not scared. Not scared. So yeah, I would say for classic, Ramon's got the biggest arms. But we're talking about the biggest arms overall. And the open guys they're a lot bigger, so they're gonna have big arms. But yeah, you could see Ramon's arms in every pose. They're a strong point. Look at that. It kind of makes it's hard for his chest and his back to look as good as they would otherwise because his arms are so big. There's a good shot. Yeah, they don't look that great. They don't look that big there. Who should we go back to? I'm going to go back to Walker. Why not? Nick Walker. Yeah, because when Nick he put up a video, this is a while ago. It was on his Instagram. When he's doing those curls, close grip curls, to, like a cable or something, or easy curl bar. Here we go. Look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. Rolling. Now I mentioned A wasn't really taller than Dirk. Just didn't really think about it like that. He's going to make it to the Arnold. Yeah, I heard issues about visas, but those are visas. Trump put a stop to visas for people that are trying to come here to live, to become, eventually citizens. Where, from what I understand, the visas for people who are just visiting, like athletes, businessmen, just like a work visa, a temporary visa for a limited amount of time. I don't think those have been affected at all. Of course, the political situation in Iran, they're almost in a civil war right now, and I think that's coming very soon. So I don't know how any of that is going to affect him. I mean, I don't see him ditching his wife and 3 kids to hurry up and get over here immediately so he can be in the Arnold. But he's got Honey Rambot on his side, and Honey has been doing an amazing job getting him over here to all these Olympias. Look at that. Some tricep training for Nick. It's Nick Walker we're looking at, guys. So I don't think Hottie is going to have a problem getting over here. Rolly was a man for, Rolly Winkler's arms were nuts. Phil Heath and Rolly were both competing at the same time, and I think in their era, they both had the best arms. Crazy, crazy. Of course, there's any bodybuilder right now who would even be remotely close to top 5 in the arms department of all time. I don't know, man. Rolly's not right now. He's talking about, your mom's flip-flop is talking about people that are competing right now. Anybody who's competing right now for the best of all time, I don't know. Nick's the closest, I think. I think most class guys don't get so heavy, so they don't want to get big arms because of weight cap. I mean, I don't think, an extra inch on your arms isn't going to be like another 20 pounds or anything. So if anything, they're probably a little more wary of adding more back and leg development because those are much larger muscle groups that would add significantly more to your body weight than a little more arm size. So in bodybuilding, I think it can be Andrew Jack, that have Krizo, Walker, and Good Vito. Good Vito. Jack's arms look flow, small compared to his arms. You think Andrew Jack's arms look small compared to a MF has cool arms? Who's MF? Mother effer? Who's MF? Help me out. I don't know who that is. I should look at good Vito. Best arms ever running, Phil, or speed debatable, I guess. Let's look at good Vito, man. I didn't even think of good Vito, but that's why you guys are here. You guys are here to fill in the gaps in my things I don't think of, things I forgot. That's why I like going live with you guys. So good Vito definitely has some great arms. Yeah, look at that. They're not that much further behind like Nick's. Here's in slow motion. He's got tremendous leg development too, this guy. He's a kid too. He's only about 27 years old, right? Yeah, Vito. Vitaliy, what's his name? Vitaliy Ugolnikov. Good Vito. Yeah, some of these poses, like you can't do anything with your arm up in the air if you have anything less than spectacular arms, or else it flattens out and it looks bad. So you know somebody has to have good arms if they're hitting shots where they stretch out their arms or put their arms out overhead, up overhead. Because yeah, your arms will go away if you don't have great arms. Oh wow, there he is with Smaev. I don't know what that says. It's probably like Merry Christmas, yeah. Happy New Year in Russian up there. Remember good Vito, although he lives in Brazil, he is a Russian man. He is a Russian. So yeah, two of the best arms in the game right there. Yeah, man, I almost forgot about Vito. Thanks for reminding me, guys. Look at that. Oop, there we go. Good Vito definitely has some killer arms. Really, the judges still ask guys they need big arms. So just go on my feedback. I don't think many of them have weak arms, is the thing. You do see the two most common areas that you see lacking on anybody, whether it's classic or open or back and legs. Most competitors have pretty good arms, pretty good chest and shoulders. Back and legs is where you start seeing people lagging. Andrew Hacker's arms. Hacker. Andrew Jack. It's not Andrew Hacker. Pooper Etch. Sommerfeld's arms are pretty nice as well. Just some pics. Underrated with the arms. Sommerfeld. Oh, yeah, he's got really good arms. That's why, when people are saying, hey, you're not giving Sulek enough credit. Well, I think Sulek's very good. But he's going to have a hell of a time. Where'd my StreamYard go? Yeah, I think he's going to have a hell of a time. Ooh. Where did I put my Instagram? Where'd my Instagram go? I'll have to find my Instagram again, guys. I lost it. Okay. Because I want to go to Sommerfeld, because Mike Sommerfeld does have really good arms. He's Mike the Badass. Let's go to Mike the Badass. Mike the Badass. Okay. All right. Let's go to Mike. Okay. And let's see if we can find a good arm shot. That's Neil. Neil actually had great arms in his day too. Neil Hill. Looks like he's real flat there, so I'm not gonna say that's one of the better ones. Here we go. Just gonna hit a double bicep for us. No. This is Mike Sommerfeld, guys. Runner-up at the last Olympia. He is the defending Arnold Classic physique champ. And he is hoping to keep that title, even though he's got to go into a slightly lower weight class than he did last year. He was heighted as being a little shorter than he had been in the past. So now he has to be a little bit lighter. But Mike has some pretty great arms, man. Let me find those Olympia shots, because he was putting up some really great shots. Well, actually a week ago. He looks pretty good now, doesn't he? Yeah, Sommerfeld's got some pretty damn great arms. I like the cross striations. His tries are very, very strided, which you don't see a lot of. You especially don't see that with guys who are pretty much crap in their arms. That's too dark. Can't see. Can't see, Mike. There we go. That's a good shot. Good Vito. Quint and Yeah, Quinton's got some good arms. Look at Quinton, sure. Hot Vito and sickening. Damn. Where do I think Sulek places in the Arnold? I think if he can be in the 7 to 10 range, he's doing very, very well. Structurally, he does not have great shape and structure. He will be shredded. He's got good size, but not the most pleasing physique. And Classic is about pleasing physiques. Who was I going to look at? I forgot. I already forgot who I was going to look at. Oh, Quint. Quint. That's fair. Let's go to Quint. Quint Beastwood. Yeah, Quint does have really good arms. Good call. Good call. This is obviously off season. He's not that lean. When he's lean, they're even more impressive, of course. When was this? It was 5 weeks ago. Yeah. I think he's in a health phase right now. I suspect he is. I don't think he's on gear right now. Just maybe a TRT dose. So let's go back to when he was on, when he was blasting. Here we go. I was guest posing. Quinteria. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Quint's got some great arms too, man. It's hard. It's hard to pick just one. I mean, I don't know if my top 3 is the only ones I had there. I'm so dude is absolutely peeled. Like Mario. He might lose some muscle. Yeah, he's still young, but I'm not being negative because I think I like the kid. I think he's fantastic for the sport. He's got a great personality. He's humble. He's down to earth. He's hardworking, doing his own prep, which I'm very impressed by. But the shape and the structure, those things don't change. He can get bigger than he is now, but his structure and everything, they're not going to be any different. Best of all time. Yeah, Lee Priest, maybe. Phil Heath is up there. Rolly Winkler. Levroni for triceps. Ronnie Coleman for biceps. Robbie Robinson for biceps. Arnold for biceps. Yeah. Marco at the best bicep peaks of all time. Marco, yeah, I forgot about him. All time, Sergio Oliva, Larry Scott, and go back to. Yeah, the funny thing is Sergio Oliva, I bet he was barely on any gear. I'm sure now he was using gear, don't get me wrong. But I bet compared to what the guys are using now, Sergio Oliva was on a fraction of that. And I bet he wasn't eating and taking supplements and the way the guys do now. If he was in the modern era and doing everything that the guys now do, talking about Sergio Oliva, the 3-time Olympia champion, father of Sergio Oliva Jr., I think he would be kicking everybody's ass if he was around today. Yeah. You read my mind, man. I was Krizo in person as cartoon. What's up, Mike? Mike is going to be joining me again tomorrow night, guys, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Meathead podcast. We got Jimmy Mentis back and Chris Pantano. This time we're going to be talking about drugs. How much do they matter? So definitely, if you're able to make it tomorrow night, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, hop on and join that discussion with us. Share your stories. Listen to our stories. It's going to be a good time. We'll see with time. Yeah, I mean, his frame isn't going to change. Your mom's flip-flop. Talking about Sulek. I guess I'll put him on screen if we're going to talk about him. So, what was the last update we had with him? This is the last Sam update we had. Does he look fantastic for a regular guy? Absolutely. You put him next to Wesley Vissers, you put him next to Mike Sommerfeld, Niall, the top classic guys, he doesn't have that type of shape and structure. He doesn't have wide clavicles. It's just not the right frame is what I'm saying. Now, he looks great. I respect the hell out of this kid for the hard work and dedication. But when you ask me to predict how somebody's going to place, I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think he's capable of getting 7th through 10th, and I think there's 15 of them. anything better than last would be a victory for him. Because let's face it, I mean, he won his pro card in a pretty easy competition last year at the Arnold Amateur. It was not a very difficult competition. So, but again, I respect the hell out of this kid. I just don't think he's meant to ever do great things as a competitor. That is not the shape. Look at that, and then you go look at Wesley or Sommerfeld or Niall Darwin or Ramon. I mean, any of the top classic guys, really. He doesn't have that kind of shape. And that's not going to change. It's not walk on water in top 5. I mean, top 5 would be amazing for him, Mike. Amazing. That would be a win, I think. There's no way he's winning, guys. There's just no way. He just doesn't have the structure and shape. They matter a lot. They matter a lot, and he doesn't have it. You know what? I want to take a look at. I kept mentioning Wesley. Wesley Vissers has some really good arms too, especially for a tall guy. We say it's easier for the short guys, and to an extent, that's true. I don't think it's easy. It's easy for a guy with arms and legs that are very long, like Wesley's are, and Andrew's are, to pack on the size. But look at that, very nice double bicep shot. This is Wesley Vissers we're looking at, guys. That is not him. That is an AI enhanced version. That is not real. I don't know how much posing. Nope. They always trick me with the thumbnail is the posing. But one thing I do like about Wesley's physique also is the separation, the striation, the details that you always see. Here we go. I mean, look at that. That was 7 weeks ago. That's how lean he already was at 7 weeks out. And you can always see so much separation between the muscle groups. Lots of details, vascularity, all that stuff. Got one more. Here's Logan. Logan's got some really good arms too. Now I think about it. Here's a nice relaxed shot of the arms. Yeah. Yeah, Robbie Robinson, those bicep peaks on Robbie. I think the best peaked biceps, I mentioned Marco Savon. I don't know how to say his last name. Ronnie Coleman's bicep peaks were great. Albert Beckles, a guy named Cal Skalak from the late 70s was really good too. Piotr Wojtkiewicz. Well, I don't know if you're joking, so I'm gonna have to take a look. You might be right. I definitely wouldn't have thought of that. Piotr Wojtkiewicz, the Polish Eagle. I hope you weren't clowning me. They're pretty good. Absolutely. We're talking about the best. I don't know if they're the best. They're very good. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't put them up there with the guys that we're talking about, though. Yeah. They're good. They're good. Now I got to go back to Wesley. We lost Wesley where we went to check on him. Yeah, he's up there, man. He's up there. And again, he's 6'2" or 6'3". But the detail in those arms is something else. Look at that. I'm never impressed when somebody just has a big lumpy arm with no separation, no detail. I want to see all that stuff going on. Those good biceps, those peaks. Yeah, I mean, Arnold's. How many people bought those arm blasters just because they saw a picture of Arnold using it? Jimmy Mentis is good people. Yeah, Jimmy's cool, man. I'm so glad he actually volunteered to come on again. I was like, yeah, absolutely, come on, dude. Invite Beatty on. I like to keep it to 4. Beatty's definitely coming back. I don't want to hit him up too much. Sam's a great dude. He's going to get smoked on stage with the big boys. Yeah, I don't think he's not going to make top 5. I would be so shocked if he makes top 5. I will take my hat off and give him his proper credit. I know he's going to be in shape. I know he's going to be shredded. I look at the genetics, and that's something that's beyond his control. He's up against guys with just better genetic structure and shape. Yeah. I'm waiting for his fans. That was actually one of my predictions that I made for Giles about 2026 is that Sam Sulek's fans were gonna throw a fit after the Arnold because he's not going to win. and a lot of them were expecting to win. He's going to do the pro show. Well, so Black Patron, I don't know if you knew this, but when you win the Arnold Amateur, that gets you an automatic invitation to the pro show the following year. That's how Rolly Winkler made his pro debut. He won the Arnold Amateur, I think it was 2009 or 10. Anyway, his first pro show was the Arnold next year, and he did very well, and he started winning almost immediately. I think he won the New York Pro that year. Good open guy. Yeah, I mean, you can get away with a little bit more structural deficiencies if you pack on enough size, and he's already at the limit for Classic, so he can't get much bigger, or he's going to be out of Classic. Like two other guys, the Arnold majority of the guys have better overall physique. Yeah. I mean, I think they all do, honestly. It's just genetics. Sam's legs are just not as big as they should be. I don't know. I think he's got pretty good legs. I just think it's a shape and structure issue. Sam's going to be a lot more filled out this summer. Yeah, I mean, I'll go to his Instagram. He doesn't put much on his Instagram because he's all about the YouTube, and he has a tremendous success on YouTube. So I get it. I'd put everything on YouTube too if I was making the kind of money on YouTube Sam is. Yeah, here's a shot where he shows his legs. Legs look fine. I mean, I think they're big enough for Classic. And definitely nice and detailed. They're already showing crazy cross-striations. What, they got almost 8 weeks left still? Yeah, they have a lot of time left. Sulek. Most of it, yeah. I don't know if you guys are joking about Piotr. Tall guy, myself, say arms physique just looks skinny for those person a lot more intimidating. I'm not huge. I'm huge. Well, you know what? If you're like my training partner that I trained with for years, a guy named Chris Griffin Goon, he's 6'5", and his arms were never anywhere near as big as he wanted them to be. But because he was so big, and he bulked up at one time to 340, I think, just trying to get as huge as possible, pushing the limits on a lot of things. And, you know, he on stage, it wouldn't look pretty. He didn't have a great structure, but just walking around, people were freaked out by him, especially shoulders were massive. He had a really big, thick back. Arms were good. Sam's not winning. Wesley's my pick. Yeah, I mean, I like Wesley's physique a little better, but I think Mike's got it. I heard anyone say Sam is going to win. Oh, his fans. If you go on his YouTube, go on his YouTube channel, Black Patron, and look in the comments. And he's got, you know, millions of subscribers. He's killing it on YouTube. I totally bow down to that kid's YouTube success. But yeah, his fans do believe he's going to win. And you know what? That's fine. Let them have their favorite. You know, he's a good kid. He deserves to have a little fun, a little fanfare, I should say. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, you can see there. I know this is an older picture, but that's his arm shape. They're just not really, the biceps don't have much peak. The triceps, they need to be a lot bigger to really match up to the other guys. Oh, I think he's going to look great. I think he's going to be in fantastic condition. And I give him a lot of credit for doing his own prep because everybody wants to coach that kid. I'm sure everyone like Aceto, Boss of Outlaw, you name it, all these coaches, Super Slice, they would love to work. Who wouldn't want to work with this guy to be his coach? Best arms, zero oil. The oil conversation needs to stop. I mean, it was a PMMA conversation, which is a little plastic balls. One want to see. I haven't seen some QC. Oh, I mean, Ivan's killing it on YouTube also. He's more gossipy than me. I don't engage in the gossip to anywhere near the extent that he does because I'm not as prove it or pay up the oil thing. Exactly. Arm blaster, yeah, dude, those make you look like a hero. So you talk about those. It was like it's like a piece of metal, a bent piece of metal that your elbows fit in, and there's shoulder straps, and it keeps you strict while you do curls. I think you have a defamation lesson. You're here seeing someone using oil in their arms. Yeah. Fans are really, we'll see arms. See. Yeah, Mike. I mean, I think if we knew everyone had stuff in their arms, we'd be shocked. Our jaws would drop because there are people that get accused of it all the time and others that you never hear. But how do you know they're just not doing it very well? They're just not putting the oil in, or the PMMA in such a way that it just enhances the way the muscle looks. It doesn't look, the shape doesn't change. It just volumizes it. The welting isn't that big a deal. It's not going away. It's a lot different. One guy's been constantly recruits for. Pure's arms look awful. Brandon Curry's arms. That's a good one. Yeah, I actually meant to put branding. I mean, Brandon still has some of the best arms out there. And he's 42, 43 now. He is a former Mr. Olympia champion, a former Arnold Classic champion. And I think he's got some of the best arms. Look at that. His legs even look pretty damn great this last Olympia. Trying to find a good arm shot with Brandon. He's pointing to that nice, perfectly round, full bicep of his. His posing. Yeah, Brandon Curry, man. And there's Hottie. Hottie's got some pretty good arms. I'm not like floored by them. But they're very good. Don't get me wrong. But if we're talking about who's got the best arms, yeah, I don't have them in that conversation. Yeah, Brandon Curry, man. 2025 Olympia, where he was 7th place. I actually would have had him beating Nick Walker. I would have had Brandon in 6th. I believe people have their own opinions. Black Patron, I don't get on that case for stu meth to get sued. I was talking about the oil in the armpit. His arms look awful. Phil Heath, yeah. The topic of this video is who's got the best arms right now. Check on the poll results, guys. So right now, Krizo leading in 44% of the votes. Nick Walker at 38%, not too far behind. Andrew Jack, a very distant third. It's 17% of the vote right now. Okay. Going from the Arnold Amateur to Pro Arnold, a huge leap. Sam looks awesome, but they all do in the gym. Yeah, I mean, Sam looks great to people who don't understand how the sport is judged, the competitive side of the sport. And you know what? A lot of people don't even care. They just want to look good in the gym. And whether on stage there are flaws in the structure and shape that are going to get you scored down, a lot of people don't care about that because they have no aspirations to go to the stage. So for a gym bodybuilder, Sam Sulek is phenomenal. And of course, he's a social media sensation. He's making more money than almost everyone else in the sport right now. Milos, we shut him up. I don't know who you're talking about. Ivan has kind of took over with Lou Marco. Yeah. I mean, Ivan's killing it. PMMA is a true champ. Hard to beat Krizo when it comes to arms. Yeah, I think I'll finish with him. Sean to Brandon Curry sucked down 212. Yeah. Yeah, Curry was not going to be at 212. Look at that. Look at that bicep on Brandon. Wow. Oof. Some of the best arms ever of this generation of bodybuilders, I think. Doesn't get enough credit. We'll go back to Krizo because I'm going to finish this up pretty soon. Because guess what? Branch needs another walk. He's a very energetic pit bull. I got to get him all his cold weather gear. Takes a while to get him ready to go out. I can put stuff on his paws so they don't freeze. Where was I going to show you from Krizo? Krizo did a video doing some curls. That was pretty nuts. I know I could have just gone to his YouTube channel, right? Well, this is tricep training. Look at that. Look at that. Those got to be 24-inch arms off season. They got to be. I'd be surprised if they're anything less than 24 off season. 23 on stage, I bet. That's not him. I don't know who that is. That's probably his buddy or something. Yeah, Krizo. Look at that. Oof. Crazy. See, I'm going to see Chris Tree. Yeah, Sam's conditioning all the way there. Krizo's the New York Pro. Good. Should do very well. Really good off-season work on his posing. Yeah, I hope he's working hard on his posing. I really do. All right. All right, guys. So I'm going to take off. So that's it. If you're watching this on the replay, drop a comment below. Who do you think has the best arms right now? We're not going back. We're not talking about of all time. We're talking about active competitors right now. Is it one of the three guys I mentioned so prominently in this video, Nick Walker, Andrew Jack, or Michal Krizanek? Or is it somebody else that I completely left out and you want to give them the credit for having best arms? Let me know in the comments, guys. Appreciate it. And don't forget to join me and Big Mike Cox tomorrow night on the Meathead Podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern, live right here on this channel. And yeah, that's true. I do have the best arms. For bodybuilding, no. I have some of the worst arms. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow night.